Let's update you on one of the more urgent weather alerts that we have in Connecticut right now. It is a flash flood warning in effect for Hartford County and Tolland County until 5:30 this afternoon. We've seen a tremendous amount of rain move through Tolland and Hartford counties recently. We're going to show you the radar update in a moment, and we still have a flash flood warning in effect for the southern two-thirds of New Haven and the Middlesex counties in southern Connecticut until 4:15 this afternoon. We'll go right to an early warning pinpoint Doppler, and essentially the weakening storm Henri is making its way across Connecticut, and as it moves off to the northwest, it is kind of pushing the heavier rain with it. And at the same time, it seems like the heaviest rain is sort of dwindling a little bit in its coverage. So let's focus in on some of the trouble spots with the rain, and they're primarily in northern Connecticut right now. You can see that closed circle. That is where our Doppler radar is located. It's the only live Doppler radar in the state of Connecticut, and it's really a valuable tool, especially with rain within the state like we're seeing right now. Let's go over toward the Simsbury area, and you can see over in Simsbury on Hoskins Road, and we're looking at Terriffill, Pequannock section of Windsor. You're getting hit pretty hard as well, along with East Granby. And Granby, that rain as it's working its way to the west across the estate is just producing a tremendous amount of rainfall. Mountain Road, up in northern Connecticut on the western side of Suffield, you're getting hit hard as well. Meanwhile, eastern Connecticut, as we expand out the view, you're getting a break, and there's not really a whole lot of rain in southern Connecticut as well. It's all in northern and central and western portions of the state. Somewhere within this area is the circulation of Henri. We'll take a look at what we call the satellite radar combined, where we combine the two, and it looks like the center may be over in eastern Connecticut, probably not too far away from stores, right there in northeastern Connecticut, the way it looks right now. Of course, it made landfall around 12:15 this afternoon as a tropical storm. It's moving off to the northwest across the state of Connecticut. But at the same time, it is in the process of slowing down. So, you know, the good news is it's weakening. That's the good news. The bad news is that as it slows down, we're not going to be completely done with the rain until sometime tomorrow night. Let's take a look at some iCams. And Connor, if you want to walk through the iCams, I got a whole bunch of them loaded up because these tell a really good story.
Yeah, fantastic, Bruce. I think we got our first one fired up in Hartford, 72 degrees. Sustained winds, so that's the average wind speed over the past minute at 21 miles per hour. So it is a very stormy situation in Hartford. That's where we're seeing the core of the system moving through Hartford. It's going to clip a little bit into Litchfield County and eventually western Massachusetts. So those are the areas where we're still clinging on to potentially those brief tropical storm force winds up to 40 miles per hour with the gusts at least 72 degrees at the moment in Hartford. It is coming down, very gusty conditions in Windsor Locks right now. So you can see the trees going back and forth a little bit. So while we may not see trees snapping in half, tree branches coming down, trees getting uprooted, still a possibility. Isolated moving forward for the rest of the late afternoon, especially, and then maybe into the early evening. But as of right now, we are seeing our winds plateauing, and it is going to be a gradual decrease in those winds. North breeze, 23 miles per hour at the moment in Windsor Locks. To look at Torrington, we see some steady, light, moderate precipitation in those areas. You can actually see a little bit of a brightness in the sky, so we still have yet to see some of the heavier rain showers move into some portions of the western state. Storrs, look at some of those raindrops coming down. It almost looks like it's snowing. The rain is so intense in some of those areas across Tolland County, as cloudy as it can be. So very stormy conditions still in those areas. Breeze of 14 miles per hour in Waterbury. So we're seeing torrential rain in some areas making their way across Hartford County, and eventually we could see that into Litchfield County as well. Middletown, you can see a little choppy out there across the water of the Connecticut River. So very gusty conditions. The tree's not moving around too much in that area. And look at New London, a little bit of blue. So that is the core of the system. Eventually, we will see some gusty conditions on the back end as the core finally gets through the rest of the state. But as of right now, looking at minimal rain potential for the second half of today for those areas in South southeast Connecticut. 70 degrees right now in Windsor Lock, 71 in Putnam, 72 in Salisbury. Our dew points almost matching exactly what we're seeing with the temperature, which means that the air is completely soaked. It is absolutely full of moisture right now, and that's where we're seeing that torrential rainfall. A look at our 7-day forecast. So we're looking at very warm conditions moving into Monday, and also those overnight lows getting much warmer as well. So the one blip of good news for today is that the temperatures are manageable, which is a big deal for those folks that may be dealing without air conditioning, but we are looking at a situation moving forward where their temperatures are potentially in the 90s. So while we may be able to take a breath of, we may be able to take a sigh of relief by the time we get to Monday night, we cannot do that for folks that are left without power moving forward, guys.